Hey everybody, I'm Deborah Richmond and I want to talk about the quilt behind me, which is called Ebony Log Cabin. This is a classic log cabin block and we're going to show you in a minute how to make that, but let me just talk about the quilt itself for a minute. Now the blocks you can see are this block right here, and then you can see it here in the quilt. So the same block over and over again. Now you'll see that with this quilt there's not as much contrast in the block as there is in this one, and I wanted to show you both ways. This one, the darks are much darker and the lights are lighter. But in the quilt on the wall, we went with larger scale prints, and what happens when you have large scale prints is it puts more white into the black and more black into the white, and it gives it a more subtle look. So it takes you a little bit longer to really kind of pick out the design here. So it's really up to you when you're making this quilt is to decide, do you want the much higher contrast or do you want something more subtle behind, like the one behind me? Do you want to use some of your large prints up, or do you want something even higher contrast like this one? This one is primarily two colors, and it makes, as you can see, a really high contrast block. So let's show you how to make the block. So to make the log cabin block, we're going to start with 2.5-inch strips. Now, like I said before, this is great for jelly rolls, whether they're leftover jelly rolls or new ones, but these are all 2.5-inch strips. So you're going to cut 2 of each size, these first 4 sizes, and they're going to be one that is light and one that is dark. Now you can use, again, different colors of lights and darks, all in the black and white family. You can use 2 fabrics only, depending on, how much contrast you want in your block. So the first 2 are 2.5-inch square. The second 2 made of the strips are 4.5 inches by 2.5. Next we have 6.5 by 2.5. And then last we have 8.5 by 2.5. Now the very last strip, we only need 1 in the dark color, and it is 10.5 inches by 2.5. Alright, so to start this block, we're going to start with the black square middle, and we're going to add the other 2.5-inch square to it. We're going to sew them here, and then we're going to sew this 4.5 right on top of it. We're going to make sure that the lights are lining up. So let me show you, and this will make more sense as we go too. So here the block is sewn, there's the dark, and then we go light, moving up to the 4.5-inch light. Now we're going to add the 4.5-inch dark, and we're going to keep working in a square, and you'll see how everything fits together very easily when we work it this way. So then we're going to stay, the next layer is going to be the 6.5-inch. Now you can see where we now need a dark, so that all the darks are going to be on this side, all the lights are going to be on this side. So working, we're going to go first these 2, add this layer, add this 4.5, add this 6.5, add this 6.5, and let me show you what that looks like put together. So to show you these pieces sewn together, we've got the dark middle, and then the 2.5 light, 4.5 light, 4.5 dark, 6.5 dark. Now we're moving back to light again, 6.5 light, so you can see this side of the block is still light. 8.5, because we're ready for the next size, so as these are put together, it will then fit the 8.5 size perfectly, light, and then the 8.5 dark. Now the very last step, you have one last strip that is dark. Let me show you that. So here are all the units sewn. So this last strip that is dark is a 10.5, and it ends the, it finishes up the block so that you can see it will fit right across this block, and it's the last one, giving you all the layers of a square log cabin. So when you are finished, again, yours will look like this. And this is I want to give you that close-up of these blocks. Here is a block, you see all the darks are on this side, all the lights are on this side. And in this particular block we have different, more of a scrap look. So we have all black and white, but we have different prints. This particular one is mostly 2 different colors. All the lights are one color, and all the darks are this color. We added one little strip for a little bit more contrast here. But you can see that if you use 2 fabrics only and built your log cabins, it would be a really stunning look as well. Thank you for joining me for the Ebony Log Cabin. We have more YouTube videos here on YouTube, and also you can check us out online at a couple of different websites. One is our website that has lots more tutorials and patterns called quiltshownews.com, and also our online store called quiltedturtle.com. All the information for those sites is below, and thanks for joining me. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can do so here by clicking the subscribe button. That way you'll find out about new videos as they become available. Wow.